The following is rated not safe for work. It contains strong language, adult situations, and lots of spoilers. Discretion is advised.
In the criminal justice system, cinematic-based offenses are considered especially heinous. The dedicated attorneys who investigate these villainous films are members of an elite squad known as the Reels of Justice. These are their stories.
Order, please, order. The Reels of Justice is now in session. Judge Dylan J. Schlender presiding. We all rise for the Honorable Judge Schlender.
Be seated. Welcome to the Reels of Justice. Today we are hearing the case of The People versus The Wedding Planner, a 2001 romantic comedy that follows an up-and-coming wedding planner that chances on love. The problem? She is planning his wedding. For those of you unfamiliar with our court proceedings, we are here to determine if this film is guilty of being a bad movie. As always in this courtroom, films are to be considered excellent until proven awful, and the burden of proof lies upon the prosecution to prove beyond a shadow of a reasonable doubt that this film is guilty. Mr. Maynard Bangs, you are representing the prosecution. You may present your opening statement.
Think I wanna steal your groom, I do. If I want your dress, I'll take that too. 'Cause I'm J-Lo, bitch, I'll fuck up your wedding. Think I wanna snatch the bride's bouquet, before you even toss those weeds away. Yes, it's J-Lo, bitch, I'll fuck up your wedding. Girl, here's my vow, to usurp your man for your wedding day. Got a different plan, so I hatched a scheme to get him by my side. I'm not resting till fat lady sings There Goes the Bride. Unbeknownst to you, keep my intentions veiled, so I raise a toast to your engagement failed. That's how I play the game, and all you gotta know is you don't wanna see how low J-Lo can go. He makes me feel alright. Throwing half his snacks away, 'cause his brain don't work right, yeah. Think I wanna steal your groom, I do. If I want your dress, I'll take that too. 'Cause I'm J-Lo, bitch, I'll fuck up your wedding. Think I wanna snatch the bride's bouquet, before you even toss that thing away. Yes, I'm J-Lo, bitch, I'll fuck up your wedding. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, we've got a surefire Reelsy nomination in that one. Well done, Mr. Banks. Representing
5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. My goodness. Order in my court.
German says 305.
Appearing on behalf of the defense is Miss Maisie Culver. Please present your opening statement.
Hello. Well, the defense was not aware that this was the musical episode. So the defense has a regular argument.
That might be more effective. First time for everything.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, we are gathered here today to defend my hardworking, terminally single client who has everything together except her love life, 2001's The Wedding Planner. Now, the prosecution wants to convince you that my client is guilty of being a bad movie. Through their beautiful singing voice, they pointed out that sure, technically, this is a pro-cheating rom-com. Maybe they want to distract you with accusations of light fat phobia and the casual use of the R word. But don't listen to them. It was a different time. Today, I intend to prove that my client is innocent of being a bad movie beyond a shadow of a doubt. And my case boils down to 2 irrefutable facts that are also technically opinions. Fact opinion 1, people are brutal in their criticism of rom-coms because, wait for it, sexism. Fact opinion 2, The Wedding Planner is actually a pretty good movie. And I am confident that your verdict will find that my client is not just not guilty, but is a stylish, rewatchable, and dare I say, classic movie. After all, my client's been through enough. I mean, she's in her 30s and her dad just tried to set her up. Cut her some slack.
Been there.
All right. Thank you, Miss Culver. Mr. Bangs, you may proceed with your first exhibit.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yes. Well, honestly, everything I had went into the song, so you're lucky. It's not,
So he rests.
well, I do want to touch on the point, though. I hadn't dove into it deeply, but you mentioned on J-Lo being terminally single, and it's like, come on. Nobody is trying to court Jennifer Lopez. Let's admit it, if Jennifer Lopez, first off, her life is good. She has a great career. She's doing something she cares about. Her life isn't fucking bad, and yet this movie kind of frames her like a fucking loser, right? They're like, oh, her life should be so romantic, cutting to her going home and taking care of her house, which is like what everyone has to do. They don't always have to put a little handkerchief over their head and tie it so cute when they do it, but it helps. I don't even believe that J-Lo would be in any kind of a desperate situation where she even needs to get into an arranged marriage or consider dating a cheater or anything that this movie has where they try to possibly pigeonhole her as some sort of like old maid.
Okay, I do have an objection to that, which is I think that argument could be made about literally any rom-com, but also nearly every role for a hot actress in any movie in Hollywood. Like, she's all that, famous for being ridiculous, and that she, very hot Rachel Lee Cook, takes off her glasses and ponytail and suddenly is beautiful. I think that's just the lie of Hollywood. If you're on screen, you're going to be hot, and then people just lie about it and say, oh my God, look, it's J-Lo with less highlights. What a loser.
I didn't even think she was dressed down. I mean, maybe the ponytail could go a little bit. I guess there's that, but otherwise she's very fit. She's very clean. Those are the two qualifications. That's the level of attraction. Be either fit or clean in some level. Brad Pitt can be covered in mud, right? We all get it. Anyway, so let me go to my real first exhibit, my main exhibit. The plot of this romantic comedy is not very romantic. It's based on deceit and dishonesty, but gives itself this nice, easy out rather than having to deal with the moral quagmire it creates. From the very moment that McConaughey meets J-Lo, he's already engaged to Fran, Bridget Wilson. It's not like they're gonna be engaged or they're on a Ross and Rachel type break. There's no gray area. They're just engaged and actively planning their wedding when the two of them meet. Now, J-Lo doesn't initially know this, so I'll give her a little pass in the beginning of the movie, but McConaughey sure does. And he has a bunch of opportunities to come clean to J-Lo about it too. I mean, when J-Lo asks about the picture of his girlfriend in his office, that's actually his sister, he could go, yeah, that's my sister, but my fiancée Fran's picture's over here in the garbage. In fact, that's where I keep it. When the wise old black security guard, at the park says the two of them are out on a date, he doesn't deny it. He doesn't correct it. J-Lo kind of does, but he doesn't. So he's leading J-Lo on, which doesn't become any nicer of a thing to do when you consider that he planned on never seeing her again, or so he said. So let's call a spade a spade. He's a cheater. Yes, he doesn't kiss her on that first night, but for all intents and purposes, they went on a first date, they danced together, and they do very nearly kiss. If it didn't start raining, I think they would have. So God stepped in and made it not happen. And I think a lot of people would consider him and his actions in this film as crossing the line a few times. And I would say a lot of people would say it doesn't matter that they didn't kiss, because what really matters is he holds affection or love in his heart for her. And that is something that Fran is completely unaware of.
Maisie, is this emotional cheating?
Oh yeah. But even though that part of the argument...
It's an early day, Your Honor.
Correct. Sure. Yeah, technically, the prosecution is correct that this is a movie that runs very fast and loose with definitions of cheating and what is okay. But I would also like to remind the prosecution that this was a different time when people were a lot morally more relaxed when it came to what they expected of the behavior for their rom-coms. For instance, Love Actually came out the same year, I believe, 2001. And
2003.
people, 2003? Okay. Love Actually came out the same year, +2. And it was at the time seen as a very romantic, sweet story. And nearly every single storyline in that movie, as time has passed, has become seen as incredibly creepy. You know, the guy trying to seduce his best friend's wife by having the messages on poster boards, the romance between Colin Firth and the woman who he doesn't know a single thing about her because they can't speak the same language. We had different definitions of what was cute in the early 2000s.
Well, I'll leave it up to the jury whether they want to look at this movie strictly through the lens of 2001 or whether they do look through it now. But I think most people would agree McConaughey's behavior is pretty bad throughout the movie. But let's also move on to poor J-Lo, because I think J-Lo's kind of innocent in the beginning. But ultimately, does she end up any better? This would be a hard conversation for her to have with Fran, granted, but it's probably the right one to have. And even if you couldn't grit that out, and I guess I could understand, not everyone's I probably couldn't do it either. You could at least just walk away from the account. You can go, oh, blah, 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 it'll hurt her promotion. She'll have other promotions. She could fake sick. She'll have other opportunities. This is not the only one. She chooses to stay with this account. And clearly where the movie unfolds, we can see why. She doesn't really even make any attempts to spend less time with McConaughey alone, like especially when Fran goes out of town and, oh, now we have to go plan the wedding together. She could have brought Judy Greer with her on all those flower shopping excursions. She could have brought her dad. She could have brought Massimo. She didn't. She chose to be alone with McConaughey throughout all those incidents to continue bringing rapport. To continue sort of, I don't want to say to entice him a little bit more. She knew where it could possibly go, and she was good with the competition. And let's also talk about poor Massimo, who is an idiot in his own right, sure. But she does agree to marry him with some pressure, I understand, and pressure mostly from her father. But she does say yes, and there was a whole lot of time to back out of it until the last minute, until at the altar, when she's like, okay, I changed my mind. Even though I'm going to argue with my dad here in front of camera for 2 minutes and make you believe I am going to go through with it, I'm going to decide off camera for absolutely no reason to run away instead. And she leaves poor Massimo there at the altar. And remember, this happened to J-Lo's character before. The movie goes out of its way to have a whole scene to introduce us to her fiancé, her ex-fiancé, who cheated on her the day of their wedding and left her at the altar. Such an emotionally scarring thing. It ends up making her a wreck for the rest of the night. Just at the sight of them, she's in tears and drunk for the rest of the night. And she played party to making this happen to 2 other people on the same day.
Ooh, so Maisie, is J-Lo just as guilty as Matthew McConaughey?
I mean, sure. Is my client morally dubious? Yes. But does morally or being morally dubious make something a bad movie? I don't think so. I mean, by that argument, that would mean that we couldn't enjoy any movie that Martin Scorsese has ever done, or any movie about a con man, or any Ocean's 11 movie. We like a morally dubious character.
Okay, so then what you're saying is they're anti-heroes, and their romance is an anti-hero love. It's celebrating cheating. I don't think that's true. I would love if it had the guts to do something that mature, to do something where these characters had to sit down with each other and go, look, I fell in love with someone else. It just happened. And how can we deal with these as adults? But this is not a mature movie with that kind of a thought. This is a very cheap popcorn rom-com that's supposed to kind of fill your stomach with butterflies, with like nearly kissing scenes in the rain and people coming to the door to express their love. Like this is black and white basic rom-com fare. And because of that, because it doesn't want to be mature, this is my next argument, it gives itself this beautiful little escape hatch, right? Because it turns out, oh, Fran didn't want to get married anyway, right? Or did she? Up until Matthew McConaughey basically dumps her at the altar anyway. and is like, I'll go up that hill if you want to go up that hill and I'll marry you. Like, who's going to marry someone after they see that? For all intents, no one is. Well, if you really want, I'll, shucks, I'll kick rocks and I'll bite the bullet. Sure. And I'll be with you the rest of my life. Who's going to go up that hill? So for all intents and purposes, by even broaching the conversation, he already dumped her. He had so much time to do it before. So of course she's going to put on, what else could she do but just smile and get put in a car and go to Tahiti and not have to face everyone? He still dumped her and left her at the altar. He's like, she's going to put on a brave face, but the movie trying to be like, oh, it worked out for everyone. No, it didn't work out for everyone. Like, yeah, Massimo is a moron and his little heart is over it in 2 seconds, right? That's okay. Like, he clearly is in love again. But Fran and McConaughey, Dr. Steve, they had been together since college. They're in their, like, probably late 20s or early 30s. Their actors are. So they've been together near 10 years. You're going to tell me Fran never nursed Dr. Steve back to health when he was sick, or was there for all these important moments, all the kind of things that love is forged by through familiarity, the kind of scene that Mary's father goes in to, how love is forged out of just being with each other for so long, and respect grows to like, grows to love. That had to naturally happen with Dr. Steve and Fran over their 10 or 12-year relationship. And to throw all of that away for a woman he just happened to save out of getting hit by a dumpster. Maybe we'll touch on how stupid that scene was, but it was. But that's such a horrible waste. And the movie tries to act like it ends on a happy note. I think there's a reason we don't see a wedding at the end, right? Because, well, J-Lo's an expert about knowing how marriages will work out, how long they'll last, right? Well, J-Lo, how long do marriages that start based on infidelity and affair last?
Okay, my objection to that is, you have to remember, this is a major Hollywood movie that was designed to be a star launching vehicle for two people who were looking to rebrand themselves as commercial as they could to middle America.
You told me it was an anti-hero romance.
I think they snuck in as much of that as they could under that big popcorn movie. It's not often that things with mass appeal can touch on such complicated ideas. And one of the ways I think they do that is you have this story about Jennifer Lopez talking about how her fiance cheated on her and her wedding was ruined. And now she is essentially doing the exact same thing to her own client. I think there's actually a pretty interesting story there about how people can be hurt by something and carry that their entire lives and make that their origin story and then do the exact same thing to somebody else without it even registering as wrong. I don't know if it was intentional within there, but I personally believe in death of the author and that the audience can absorb whatever story they want from the movie. And I think it is brave that the wedding planner was willing to try and get people who were watching this during an 8th grade slumber party to
The
to
truth comes out.
The context.
with these deep, deep themes.
You see, because of the implication, Your Honor.
Naturally. You have another exhibit, Mr. Maynard?
Of course I do. I just kind of want to wrap up on how this could have been mature. Because you're right. Some of these pieces are on the table. And the fact that they just sort of slide them off and don't want to deal with them is what will make this a bad movie. Because there's a deep, intense indie drama set up here that this movie doesn't take advantage of at all, where they could have talked about having a way more complicated relationship. They could have had these conversations. McConaughey never even confesses to Fran that he is in love with another woman. He gets her to agree to not marry and shoves her in a car and drives her away and never explains, hey, I've been gallivanting off with the wedding planner for weeks and weeks, and who I'm going to go get involved in a relationship by the end of this day with. I'm going to go see her immediately right after this. He never comes clean about that. So there's never even that maturity level. I mean, he's essentially a child. He's a total sneak.
And are you going to rest there?
I am
Mr.
not,
Schlender?
actually.
Oh,
All right.
well,
I just wanna
continue,
talk on that.
all right.
I want to touch on another thing. Yes, that dumpster incident was stupid. If she had gotten her shoe stuck and the clasp couldn't come off or something, I could understand. But she literally gets her foot all the way out of the shoe, is able to walk away from danger, and runs back to the shoe. This is just a maybe an expensive shoe, but it's not something you would come back and risk your life for. Now, if there was sentimental value, it was her deceased mother's heels. Okay, now you've got something. Screenwriters don't even bother to add that. They don't care. There's just no reason for her to go back and grab that shoe, except for McConaughey to then dumpster dive her.
I mean, hey, people die trying to get their phones every single day. I believe people can make
that's true.
stupid choices.
Hey, that was my mother's phone.
And my last, Your Honor, McConaughey
Very
is
good.
apparently some kind of a doctor, apparently. But let's face it, no, he's not. He's an idiot. One of the things we know about him is he only eats brown M&Ms. Now, one, I think we all understand the implication of I only eat the brown ones. Him saying that to Jennifer Lopez.
Oh, no.
Right. But his idea for this is that they have the least amount of artificial coloring because chocolate is already brown. But of course, M&M shells are not made out of chocolate. Only the insides are. The shell is made of sugar, which is white, which means that the brown M&Ms have the most artificial coloring. Because they're the darkest ones, they require the most coloring to get dark. He's an idiot. Not to mention that at the time, there were 6 colors of M&Ms in 2001. So he eats roughly 15% of the bag and then throws the rest of it away. He's a wasteful idiot. We also see him toasting marshmallows on a candle inside, which is a bad idea because the toxic fumes that come from burning wax can get stuck to the food. You would think a doctor would know that, especially a quote-unquote bookworm doctor who is too busy learning doctoring to have any fun in college, which is what we know about him. And apparently he works in a children's hospital where he takes Jennifer Lopez afterwards. He didn't check this girl into a children's hospital because it's a children's hospital. He legally couldn't. He kidnapped her and took her to his children's hospital where I believe he is not a doctor, but a patient in some sort of Robin Williams Jack type situation. A giant man baby in an adult body.
This is the headcanon I'm here for.
It's the only thing that makes sense with that. The prosecution rests.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bangs. Miss Culver, you may present any exhibits you have in defense of the film.
All right. Well, my exhibit. Well, first off, let me say that I don't think it's an appropriate time to question our American medical professionals.
I think now's the perfect time.
Climate.
If not now, then when?
Well, my evidence breaks down, as I said earlier, into 2 categories. And first, I would like to start about how people are unfair in how they review rom-coms. Throughout history, people have been brutal about how they review them. They say they're formulaic and they're predictable, which, let's be real, what movie is it? Is not every gangster movie about how fun it is to be a gangster, but then somehow everything gets out of hand? And I would argue that this comes from a place of gasp, sexism. And I know what you're thinking. In America? But wait. Exhibit A. Did you know that 90% of movie critics during the 90s and early 2000s were men, and rom-coms are targeted at women and are often made by women? Exhibit B. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, may I present evidence from my star witness, Reddit?
Oh.
For examples on the feminist discourse, we can see multiple conversations have been held for years between people talking about how anything that is made as women's art is often deemed frivolous. These movies were made for women, often by women, and it was easy for people to mock them while they were not the intended audience. Finally, Exhibit C, I think that Rotten Tomatoes scores are often particularly unjust when it comes to rom-coms and women-led films. So I would like to share some examples of other unjustly low Rotten Tomatoes scores. Practical Magic has an 11%. And this is a movie that has continuously grown its audience for 30 years, that cannot be a bad movie. I mean, unless people are saying they hate a movie because it is popular and
Objection, Your
beloved.
Honor. The Room has gradually increased its audience since its release as well. I think you'll find that Time tends to just do this pretty good.
Well, Maynard, are you sexist? I mean,
yes.
I know you are, but you have to say it in the court now.
Under oath. You are under oath.
I'm pretty sure we all are, so I fall under that. I am wearing my chauvinist baseball
We
cap
all
today.
are. What a cop-out. Own it. Own it.
Oh, especially me, but especially Schlenzer. I do think that, very often rom-coms are probably given, the short stick. I think I give rom-coms a pretty fair bet. I actually like a lot of the comedy in this. Mostly what I prosecuted was the lack of romance to it. I do think that when Massimo and McConaughey ride the Vespa together through the Pride Parade, that's very funny. There's a couple of very funny bits like that. So the comedy element of it, I do want to give some credit. So I think I'm treating the movie pretty fairly. But overall, do I think that like movies with that are female directed get harshly criticized? Absolutely. Let's see what female director did The Wedding Planner. Adam Shankman. You're right. They probably didn't give Adam such a good chance. He was, being a female director, he probably didn't get a real fair opportunity to let his movie shine.
Maisie, I'll let you continue.
I will point out that it was written by a couple, Pamela Falk and her writing partner, Michael Ellis. So there were women creators behind it. Another thing I would like to point out about unfair Rotten Tomatoes scores is I will just compare The Wedding Planner to another J-Lo rom-com, which is Made in Manhattan, which gets a 35%. And look, I enjoy Made in Manhattan, but as someone who has watched every single J-Lo rom-com, The Wedding Planner is arguably the best one. And it is insane that Made in Manhattan would be ranked above it. And I would also like to point out...
Well, I haven't seen Made in Manhattan, so I can't quite comment on it. But what I do know is that, at least in Made in Manhattan, J-Lo's character is actually Latino. Whereas in this film, she's forced to be Italian. This could be a difference in the ratings.
Famous Sicilian actress Jennifer Lopez. I don't know what you're talking about. She did a great job. Another movie with a higher Rotten Tomatoes ranking that I think is unfair. Look, I love the movie 13 Ghosts. But come on. 13 Ghosts is an intentionally campy movie.
Should be 100%.
100%.
Should be 100%.
There's
that's the wrong movie to bring up to Bangs. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I adore 13 Ghosts. It really should be. They had a backstory for every ghost. Why do some ghosts keep their clothes when they die, but other ghosts don't? The movie never explains.
I'm a no-clothes ghost, I know it.
Yes, Ben, you're absolutely a no-clothes ghost. Well, you might get to keep the cellophane they wrap your head in.
Personally, I feel like that helps my argument, but see, all right. And then to my next point, which is that The Wedding Planner is pretty good, actually. I would like to bring your attention to Exhibit D, which is J-Lo's performance. Okay. She's pretty good in this. She's funny. She's warm. And this was the movie that made her a rom-com star. If this movie had not been good, she would not have been launched into a career of making a full decade of back-to-back rom-coms, some of them with varying quality. I would actually go so far as to say I think this might be her best role and the one that she is most known for. And I have seen her in more into...
Wow.
I have seen her...
Maynard, you just want to say Anaconda.
Yes, I know, and it hurts me.
Say it.
Right, exactly. If this movie and all those rom-coms didn't exist, we could have gotten Anaconda 2 with J-Lo again. She'd have gone back and fucked all those snakes up.
All right, Maisie, please continue.
All right. Honestly, I think this is one of J-Lo's best performances, and I compare that to some of her roles where she's won Oscars. I don't think there are many roles where you remember the character for 30 years and you like it. Exhibit E, this movie is memorable. The brown M&M's bit, the dumpster meet cute, the opening with the father-in-law. I think it's all going to stick in your head. And to that point, prosecution brought both of those things up as being so standout and horrible. But, there's such a fine line between what is terrible and what is, wait for it, genius.
Oh.
As far as J-Lo's performance, like I said, I do like Anaconda a whole lot. Plus, there were more Anacondas in it. Can't deny that.
It's all about out of sight for me.
I think her performance here is fine, but there's not a lot, for the character to do. Like in the dumpster meet cute, what actor can convincingly go back for that shoe and not feel like an idiot? There's no motivation there. So I think it's difficult for her to deal with it. I think she has strong scenes. I think when she's being real sarcastic to her father about wanting to meet Massimo, that's one of her strong scenes. But then the rest of the time she's really bland because she and McConaughey basically spend the entire movie hiding their emotions from each other. And so there's really no affection or much emotion displayed by either of them. They're really kind of nonplussed throughout the entire film, just kind of sleepwalking. And you think that's kind of maybe because they're hiding it. But even when they finally get to be together in the end, they're not exactly electric, are they?
All right, Maisie, if you'd like to respond to that or present any other exhibits.
I have my final exhibit, which I would like to go to, which is, I think this movie has a profound cultural legacy. Firstly, I think this movie has extreme rewatchability. It is so statistically unlikely for a movie to become a hit. And, it's even more unlikely for a movie to become a beloved rewatch. Rom-coms are not movies you watch once. A good one you watch maybe 20 times. And The Wedding Planner is repeatedly on short lists of what are the best rom-coms of all time. Top 100, you will always find Wedding Planner there. It is a cozy time capsule. And it's one of the last really good rom-coms before rom-coms famously took a pretty cynical dive as the 2000s went on. I also think that everything that I know about weddings came from this movie. And a lot of the people in my generation feel the same way. And finally, controversial argument, but I think this is true. I believe that this movie gave us Matthew McConaughey as we know him today. I think this movie is responsible for his career. He was known, he'd had a couple big roles, but this was the one that made him commercial, known throughout the world, and it also set off a decade of rom-coms that he starred in back to back. And I also think if he had not done this decade of rom-coms, he would have not had the desire to totally rebrand himself over the past 10 years and give us such classics as True Detective and Dallas Buyers Club.
All right. And are you going to rest there, Maisie?
I rest.
Very well. All sides have rested their cases. The attorneys will now present their closing arguments. Mr. Bangs, you may begin.
Thank you, Your Honor. To prepare for this case, I've been planning a wedding of my very own. Ooh. Teresa's going to be heartbroken when she finds out the last 16 months have all just been research for a podcast episode. But since I'll be backing out on the wedding day just a few minutes before the ceremony, although I had weeks to tell her and I just didn't feel like it, it seems a shame to waste all the best ideas I had for the big day. So here are Maynard Bangs' top 6 in the big 2-6, baby! Keys to a perfect wedding that we didn't get to see in the wedding planner in no particular order.
God damn it.
Number 1, and this should be obvious, open bar. Seriously, don't even bother getting married without one. And I don't just mean at the reception either. Have someone churning out the burn in the church too. Let's have grandma stewed in the pews. Number 2, Mad Lib vows. Do you, Aardvark, take this helicopter to be your lawfully wedded waffle? Come on. This stuff is just word salad anyway, so have a little fun with it. And for $50, Ryan Luis Rodriguez will officiate the ceremony himself. He's ordained in the Church of Satan. Note to self, get Ryan ordained in the Church of Satan. 3.
Already beat you to it.
Yes. Big Ben booked as the wedding singer, doing all the hits. Love Hurts, Only the Lonely, a 45-minute rendition of All by Myself with encore. No refunds.
You can't afford me.
No refunds on deposits, folks.
Yeah, there we go.
Number 4, a platypus ice sculpture. because it would be irresponsible to involve a real platypus. They're not only notoriously venomous, but also shy in nature, so the bustling atmosphere of a wedding would hold little appeal. Number 5, Schlenzo D, walking around your reception, offering to lift up anyone he can see just so he can guess their weight. Now, this is a free service offered by Schlenzo D, and while he might not guess right, he's really only doing it to demonstrate that he's strong enough to pick you up in the first place. Number 6, of course, what wedding would be complete without the honeymoon? All expenses paid. Schlenzo, tell them where they're going.
They're going to space camp.
Space camp!
Aw.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Bangs. Miss Culver, you may present your closing statement.
Ladies and gentlemen, today you've heard the prosecution paint a deeply unfair and sometimes confusing picture of my client's character.
He'll do that.
And I did not go to law school to let that go unchallenged. So let me tell you who the wedding planner really is. My client is a sleepover staple, a comfort watch after a hard day, something playing in the background of nail salons across the globe with the sound off. And all my client wants is to make somebody feel better after they've been dumped by that guy they weren't even sure that they liked, who sold t-shirts out of the trunk of his car. Now,
I did like her.
now, could that movie possibly be a bad movie? I don't think so. And as New York Magazine's The Cut once put it, is The Wedding Planner a perfect movie? Yes, it is. I rest my case.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you all, members of the jury, Mr. Big Ben Haslar, Mr. Dylan J. Schlender, and Mr. You Long for Him the Way I Long for, Ryan Luis Rodriguez. You have all heard the facts concerning this case. It is now up to you to determine if this film is guilty of being a bad movie. The bailiff will escort you to the deliberation room to render your verdict.
Deliberating a J-Lo movie. Right through there, Behas, Arad, and Dylan.
Oh boy.
I kind of like Arad. Arad sounds cool.
Well, it's kind of funny that mine is still Dylan. Yeah.
That's the joke.
I know. That's what I like it. I like it. The bailiff is remarkably clever. Who's the foreman here?
I am the foreman.
Ryan is.
You
All
guys
right.
both stop talking and let me interject for a goddamn second.
I mean, you've been doing the show for like, what, 6 years now, Ryan? This is what I do.
Well, I got to start by saying that I really wish we were doing Made in Manhattan instead, because then would give me an excuse to watch that movie. Which
I wish we were doing
always
Hustlers.
Hustlers is awesome. That movie rules.
Enough.
I
wish we were doing enough.
No, God no.
That was good.
Awful.
That was good. That was a
Awful.
good joke. Okay.
But I was encouraged by the opening credits because I see names like Fred Willard and Judy Greer and Kathy Najimy, and I'm like, okay, this could be a solid B-. This could be fine. And then J-Lo shows up and she's Italian, and I'm like, okay, this could be a C+, maybe a C. And then the wacky sitcom music, like she's in the Flintstones, I was like, okay, maybe C-. And it's one of those things where it's like, my problem with rom-coms is that there's no tension because you know that they'll get together. And it's not because it's a women's genre or anything like that. I just don't really, I don't see the appeal to stuff like that. And then,
Well, it is meant to be a comfort watch, as she said, right?
Yeah, but still, I mean, to work as a film, you got to have a little tension, and there is no tension there. And then I started wondering, like, why all rom-coms involve people pretending to be someone or deliberately hiding details about themselves. Like, that's what pathological liars do. It's not good. But I was encouraged again because it's set in the Bay Area, my home. And then, of course, a terrible thing happens. An hour into this movie, and it forgets it's a comedy. It is deadly. And I like that the other woman is a nice person, but that ultimately makes the fact that she gets dumped hurt. And it's not really fair. And then my last observation is that I remember when movies used to end with the lead actor's hit single. It would play over the end credits. Every Will Smith movie of the 1990s. The second they started playing My Love Don't Cost a Thing, I was like, oh, I remember this from when I was 6. Okay. So Ben, you said the least out of all of us. Why don't you hit us up with your thoughts on the wedding?
Yeah, I do feel awkward where it's like, we have a female presenter here and like 3 men. Like, it would be awkward to be like, no, rom-coms suck. Like, it's like, we're not the target audience. So I did reach out to Kaylee, who sometimes serves as our alternate juror, and she said, geez, it's been way too long since I've seen it to know. So that, no help there.
Ben,
Very
stop
helpful, Ben.
texting me.
Really good. Lose this number.
There are a number of rom-coms that I do like, although they do lend themselves more towards the comedy side, like When Harry Met Sally or like The Wedding Singer.
I was about to say The Wedding Singer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect movie. When Harry Met Sally is a gentleman's 10.
Yeah.
The movie is fucking amazing.
But they are few and far between. It's really hard for me to think of a lot that hit. Like, she was referencing, what was that one? That Love Actually. Like, I do think that they're terrible people in there. Like, the first time I saw it, I was like, this guy's like, doing the cards, and everyone's like so romantic, and like his partner's right there. I felt the same way here. Like, as Maynard pointed out, these are terrible people. I am not rooting for them. And if they subverted that, then yeah, it could be interesting. If they did like a Seinfeld sort of thing where they're all selfish, then maybe there's something there. But to give a couple points to the defense, I do think J-Lo is pretty believable as everything but Italian, but everything else she's doing works. she's Latino.
She plays a very good girl boss.
Yeah, she's doing all that well.
Yeah, I do.
And McConaughey, plus or minus, like he is a presence in this movie. I do see this putting him on the map with that very smug, smarmy, punchable glasses aside. I don't know.
Oh, God. He's so Ulagenius in this movie. I can't stand him.
He's out in the weeds in this decade. It's brutal.
But he sticks out, like you do feel him in this movie.
Yeah, girlfriend.
Yeah, you feel a root canal too, Ben.
Dylan, what are you thinking?
I mean, honestly, you guys are just touching on a lot of things, and Maynard's case was really hit a lot of nails on a lot of heads. I mean, I guess in defense of the defense, I do think the leads are capable. I just don't think they have good material to work with, because it is framed that you're supposed to be rooting for them, even though the impetus of the relationship is just completely foul. And what Ryan was saying, like, so much of this relies on people not being honest and not telling the truth. If they wanted to do this as some kind of like sustained misunderstanding, some kind of farce, that would elevate the comedy right away. It would be like an episode of Frasier kind of thing, like that's how you could do it.
That's what's
missing.
It'd
be hilarious. Exactly. And that's exactly what's missing. So when Ryan, you said like, I forgot it was a comedy, absolutely right. And there was something about wedding movies in like the late 90s and early 2000s. Like My Best Friend's Wedding is such a better movie than this. And it's a romantic comedy. It's a chick flick, so just to,
with a completely unhinged lead character.
Yeah. And it's just, and that hits all the notes. I mean, even the Ellen DeGeneres wedding movie with Bill Pullman has more laughs than this. But yeah, it just really does boil down to the actual story. And I mean, like when Maynard said, like, he basically dumped her at the altar, saying like, I'll go down if you want to, but I don't think you really want, it's like, I mean,
I don't think they did it that way. And that's like part of the writing. I don't think they think all their steps through. Like they're like, oh, this makes it easy. This is our escape hatch, but they don't think what that actually means.
No, they really don't think it all the way through. And I'm with you, Ben. I mean, with Love Actually being brought up to it, I found that to be quite despicable. Like my heart sank when Alan Rickman bought his secretary that necklace. It's like emotional cheating is a real thing, people, and like there's nothing to be glorified.
And it's been
in these movies
to death at this point.
Oh yeah, so
I think you could do it, but you would just have to frame it differently.
Maynard's right.
You could devoid of context.
Yeah, yes. If Maynard's right, if you wanted to frame it more maturely, if you wanted to show how this was painful and a struggle, but like just everything falling in neatly into place and we're supposed to cheer for it. It's just, I'm not buying what they're selling is really what it boils down to. And there's not enough laughs to be sustained along the way. And even again, when they are playing for the laughs, you're supposed to be rooting for them. Like, it's not like bad things happening to them and them getting their comeuppance so we can like snicker at them. It's just, oh man, I'm going to go on record and say this has to be one of the worst movies we've ever done.
Oh,
on the
no.
show.
No, it's not that bad.
I'm going
No,
that
it's
far.
not.
I'm going that
Every
far.
week, Maisie.
We did The Room. We did that.
I'm going that far. Like, yeah. Okay. How about this? Worst movie we've done this season. You know, probably.
Okay.
I'd have
Worst
to
movie
see.
we've done all day.
Worst movie we've done this week.
That's true.
Anyway,
Good.
I'm gonna go. I'll just go ahead and clear the deck here. I'm gonna lock in guilty. I do appreciate Maisie coming in and taking the very hard side of this case. Like, this was a really big challenge. This one wasn't Casper. You know what I mean? So
Wasn't Jennifer's body either.
Yeah, kudos to her though. It was a good effort, a heavy lift, but yeah, no, guilty today.
I do agree with the defense that this isn't a 17% Rotten Tomato movie, and disagree with Dylan. I think
probably
it is,
more like a 10%.
no, it's
a 28, 31.
better than that. Yeah, it's but I kind of wondered. It seemed like she was like sort of agreeing with the prosecution the more and more as they argued. We'll have to hear in post trial, but it kind of sounded to me like maybe she started to see like some of these writing missteps that they made. I want to like it. I try to like it, but there's just too many escape hatches. So with all apologies to the defense, who did a great job, I am also going to have to go guilty.
It all comes down to you, Ryan.
Maisie volunteered to give us this movie.
That's true.
She saw this movie and said, I want to bring it to these guys who are notoriously assholes about movies.
She doesn't know that.
And she brought it to us anyway. And even though she agreed with the prosecution, I still admire her gumption. So god damn it, I'm going to go not guilty. So let's go tell that very handsome judge.
All right. Mr. Foreman, have you reached a verdict?
We have, Your Honor. In the case of the People versus the Wedding Planner, we find the defendant guilty of being a bad movie.
You hate love. You hate love.
I don't think the movie understood what love was. Order in my
What's
court.
love got to do with
Stayed
it?
the same age.
You know, she said, my love don't cost a thing, even if you were broke. That if does a lot of heavy lifting. So where was I? The verdict is so rendered. J-Lo will have to plan Ben Affleck's next wedding, whether it is to her or not. Court is adjourned.
Too soon.
She deserves it.
Not
Though.
soon enough.
All right. This is Matthew Ben Conaughey, and I'm one smug son of a gun. Mr.
Sure
Maynard. Mr. Maynard, right now I'm not sure if I'm interviewing you or you're interviewing me, but maybe we can see about how we feel about that jury's verdict.
Well, Matthew, McBenahey was right there. So I don't know what you said, but it wasn't McBenahey.
Ben Conaughey, it's
exactly,
Irish.
and McBenahey was right there.
That's his real name. What do you mean, Ryan?
I know. I know where all these are. This was a fun case. I do like rom-coms. I know we've done a lot of straight romances too that I think have actually done pretty well. Didn't we let Pride and Prejudice off and stuff?
Yes, we did.
See, so
Little Women?
Right? Yeah, we did.
Little Women is not a romance movie, though. Little Women is a coming
No,
of age story.
But it has romantics. I'm thinking more chick flicks.
Get out of my interview, folks. I'm talking to McBenahey. So
You know I can't ad-lib you guys out of here.
So it was interesting to dig into this. I probably hated it least of anyone here in the court, maybe. So, but I'm still glad I could bring up the points of why I thought she would go down.
Here comes Maisie Culver. They say an arrow doesn't draw the target, but the target draws the arrow. So what arrow were you aiming at?
I just gotta say, this is a travesty of justice today. In 10 years, Ryan Murphy will be making a series about all of the fuckery of this case and how unjust.
Who's gonna play me?
Evan Peters.
We will obviously be filing an appeal, and to cope, my client will go home and continue watching The Wedding Planner.
Well, I think that's enough from this handsome bastard. Let's return to the studio for post-trial analysis.
I want Brian Cox to play me.
Oh, you bastard! I was gonna pick him for me.
I knew
All
it.
be played by Brian Cox.
It's a one-man
That
show.
versatile.
He could do it. I know he could. It would be
Do
great.
it.
Oh man.
All right, great case. So Maisie, do you still think it deserves the 17? Where would you put it at?
I'd probably give it like a 50%, honestly. Maybe,
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
That's
a
fair.
60 something. I gotta say, I mean, like I agreed with all of Maynard's points, but I don't think any of that makes something technically a bad movie. Like, oh, the characters are doing morally weird things. This is a strange rom-com. I'm like, do I like watching it? There's something I find charming about it. I like the visuals of it. I find it very comforting as a time capsule, and I do think you can get some very real movie star charisma from it. I think J-Lo and Matthew McConaughey, it was very apparent that they were both huge stars, and I think that can really carry a movie pretty far.
Ultimately,
Maisie-
never let somebody tell you how a movie is supposed to be good. You enjoy it on your own terms.
And Mason,
yeah.
you said something I really agree with, that it's not cynical, and rom-coms really did start becoming very cynical. I mean, but it's not cynical, but it is unfortunately oblivious. That's the problem. But though you're right, it really is a throwback. Like they just don't make movies, big budget movies like this anymore. You
I
can
could
still
see the
catch them on like
nostalgic
Hallmark.
appeal, and I did
Yeah.
I found McConaughey charming in his way.
I'll give it a
Oh,
four.
But sleazy. Sleazy.
That's the
charming.
problem. Most sleazy people are charming, so it is accurate.
Exactly.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, but I hate it.
I admired the sleaze, but you shouldn't listen to me or be like me. So Maisie, what's been keeping you busy since you were last here? What have you been up to?
Oh, well, my first book is coming out this fall. I don't know if you
Nice.
guys are the target audience, but you know what? I think
I
can't
love
resist,
monsters
so
and
that
I
is
love
rough.
Menses. So lay it on me.
Okay. My first book is coming out this fall. It's called Of Monsters and Menses, and it is a collection
Hey!
of comedic feminist batshit takes on classic monster movies, as told by 5 women who are hiding out in a dive bar bathroom from the same creepy guy, or is he something much worse?
I am buying the shit out of that on day one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Part of
I'm
why I
with you.
wanted to do the wedding planner is my first story is a werewolf story inspired by the wedding planner.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you're like, you know what, this is missing a bunch of murder and werewolves, then I think you'll
That was
I'm
it.
thinking
That
it
was
now.
I couldn't. Let's start the case over. I've got a new exhibit.
You know what it needs.
That sounds real. I do think that we are the target audience. Like, even if I'm not familiar with a lot of feminist concepts myself, I'm interested in monsters, and so you can trick me into the room to learn about all those ideas with monsters.
That's the jumping stone.
Woohoo!
Exactly. You're like, he won't know he's learning.
Yeah.
It's the
Yep.
Had me at
cheese.
feminist horror.
Oh, good. It's like the cheese under the box in the wood with a string attached to it and a stick. That's what I was
I thought it
going
was
for.
I think it's the cheese you put the pill in, and then you feed it to me, and I just think I'm having cheese. Like,
Look, either way, we get some cheese, right?
Absolutely,
Cheese is
that's the
real.
point. Let's give
I-
up the cheese.
I started with a metaphor. I didn't know where I was going with it. You guys picked it up, took it somewhere I couldn't have dreamed of, and thank you.
No. Okay, and so where can we get it?
It's available everywhere already to pre-order. You can find it on Amazon. You can find it. I've seen it at Walmart, or there's a website called Shop Local where you can shop local indie bookstores. And I bought a couple
Yes, that's the
copies
way to
off
go.
a bookstore in my neighborhood. Yeah.
And you could buy one for your local library.
Yes. Oh, I should.
Or ask them to order it, and then they'll buy a copy and put it in the library.
I don't know if they still do that, but if libraries are
My
still
library
ordering
does.
books, then you should definitely do that. I just figured they had to rely on people just giving them.
I want to flex with my largesse, so I'll donate the books.
Whoa!
My
I was just
library
gonna
still
take
takes
one and.
requests, so
Oh, that's nice. I was just gonna hide a bunch throughout the
Just
city.
leave it in This will be ineffective if it is not sorted into the Dewey
and
Decimal
have a
System.
note in there that says whoever picks up this book shall be granted magical powers. Everybody will want to read it.
And then Kevin Murphy will make a show about it. It's all
Yeah.
coming
It turns out
together.
the magic was the
Ryan
friends
would
we
be-
made.
Kevin Murphy would be Riff Tracks.
Oh,
Well, maybe he'll do it then.
All right, terrific. Also, so we're going to check that out. Now, we always ask for recommendations from our guests for movies that you think people should see. So, Maisie, what is a movie you think people should see? Possibly on the couch while crying.
Oh gosh. Well, actually, yes, I think this works for watching on the couch while crying. I just saw Over Your Dead Body this week.
Okay.
And have you seen it yet? It's terrific.
Ryan probably has.
I got tickets. I was going to see it, but then 2 people in the front row couldn't get off their cell phones, so I left the theater.
Oh, no.
I'm thinking about going back to see it again this weekend. Hopefully that won't happen.
I really enjoyed it. It's Jason Segel. It's Samara Weaving. Jason Segel is an upset husband who has decided to murder his annoying wife, who finds out and decides that she should murder him first, and chaos ensues. And it's Yorma Taccone, who from The Lonely Island, and I always think of as Booth Jonathan from Girls. It's really fun. Yes, there we go. Exactly. Yeah, it definitely follows. It feels like one of those movies. It doesn't at first, and then it does. I thought it was really great. I hadn't seen any previews of it before I went.
That sounds cool. I'll have to check that one out. Was there a TV show where there was a wife trying to kill a husband? I'm trying to think of it. Rings a bell.
Isn't that the plot of Mr. and Mrs. Smith? Is they're trying to kill each other?
No,
that's because they're secret agents. That's kind of a different thing.
Oh, you think of War of the Roses?
That's a movie.
It is a movie, but I don't think it's what I'm thinking.
I only heard
what
about
I am
half
thinking
of what
of,
he
though,
said.
is my recommendation today.
Yeah, let's
which
go
is
with
the
that.
latest from our boy Sam Raimi. And I had to make sure it wasn't recommended yet because I know Big Ben name dropped it, but I guess I didn't actually get it. It's 2026's Send Help. A resourceful career woman gets stranded on a desert island with her unappreciative boss and uses the opportunity to prove to him she's more capable than he thinks. It stars Rachel McAdams, dressed down to look as frumpy and disheveled as possible, for Rachel McAdams, I mean. They're kind of doing the thing that Maisie was talking about before. They really try to make Rachel look like she's a typical like office
cat
worker. Lady. Yeah, cat lady, exactly. She didn't own a cat. She owned a cockatiel, but very much the same energy. But of course, she gradually gets more and more ravishing as her ordeal on the island continues. Her character honed her skills being an avid fan of and contestant hopeful on the show Survivor, which I was surprised to learn is not only still on the air, but still has fans. 50 seasons and still going.
Good for them.
Rachel builds shelters, treats wounds, and slays a charging wild pig.
I'm a wild pig.
Thank you. The wild pig CGI model must be on sale this year because everyone's getting on board. Speaking of pig-headed, her boss, played by Maze Runner Dylan O'Brien, embodies the essence of the modern tech bro, entitled, inept, unscrupulous. But are those traits enough, like, for when he's in an environment where only the strong survive? Turns out, maybe. This film would be great with 2022's Triangle of Sadness in a Rich Douche Eats Crow double feature, a genre that's been gaining notable steam as of late for reasons unbeknownst to myself, naturally.
Can't think of any reason.
Can't think of why. I would talk even further about this picture, but apparently I'll be going on the Talking Pondo program in a few weeks to discuss it, and I don't want to run out of interesting things to say, which so far is up to 0. If you want to check out Send Help, it's currently available for rent or purchase at all the usual outlets. But if you go to your library, you can ask them to buy it.
So what's the other movie you'll be talking Pondo with?
I think The Quiet Earth, which I haven't seen. So
great movie.
I'm sure.
And Triangle of Sadness famously made Ben very nauseous in the movie theater.
Famously.
It was famous.
I was like, I had some Alamo food and it made me like kind of nauseous, and like just the way that the camera like tips back and forth
to do before watching this movie.
Yeah,
I don't think I want to blame the movie for this. I want to blame Alamo's microwaved hamburgers. Schlenzo, what have you got for us?
Well, Maynard, at the risk of being too topical and too timely, I'm recommending The Devil Wears Prada. With the sequel imminent, my girlfriend wanted to watch the original, and it was delightful. A cast firing on all cylinders, anchored by the Tooch!
The Tooch!
Oh, the Tooch!
The Tooch! This is one that truly lives up to its reputation. It is tight. It is funny. Again, the Tooch. Having seen every episode of Project... There it is!
Okay, I get the next one.
I'm sorry, we're out of Tooches today. Come back next week when I recommend The Devil Wears Prada 2.
The Tooch.
Having seen every episode of Project Runway and being awarded the best Tim Gunn impression at the last Realsies, I confess to a smidge more than a passing interest in the world of high fashion, and The Devil Wears Prada is just all the more excellent, the more you know, but it's not so hoity-toity as to leave a casual watcher in the dust. I'm looking forward to the sequel, which will surely be recommended by myself or Ryan. Support your local library.
Meryl is amazing in that movie.
She really is.
So
She's
good as
so
Anna Wintour.
poised the whole time.
Wow,
Was it your first time watching it?
That was the first time I had ever seen it, and I was very impressed.
Yeah, I watched it on Monday, and I hadn't seen it in 20 years, and I'm like, this shit holds up. This is still good.
Yeah, no, it's a very impressive movie. Again, anchored by
The Tooch.
Sorry, Ben, you missed it.
No, I have to say it after someone else says it.
I was confused. I'm like, Meryl? Probably Meryl.
Exactly. Yeah, on a first name basis, Ryan is, of course. That makes a lot of sense. Now, Schlender, are you really not gonna let Maisie hear your Tim Gunn impression at all, and after bragging about it?
Oh. Well, my Tim Gunn impression has been known to be really fantastic. So, designers, we need to move on to our next recommendation. Ryan, what do you have for us?
Thank you for the tee up, Dylan. I appreciate it.
I've never seen Project Runway. I'm kidding. That was pretty solid.
Oh, God, thank you. How embarrassing for me.
I also don't know what he sounds like. I just assume it's fine.
That's my McConaughey.
Like actually, Ben, your McConaughey was really good, I gotta say.
That was McBenahey.
Yeah.
McConaughey.
I want to hear Ryan.
There used to be a documentary series called 7 Up, not to be confused with the Uncola, through which director Michael Apted would capture the lives of a group of children and check in with them every 7 years to see how they were growing as human beings. But before that series, director Francois Truffaut took the fictional approach to the same ethos, which Criterion has dubbed The Adventures of Antoine Doinel. It begins with a landmark motion picture in the history of the French New Wave, 1959's The 400 Blows, starring Jean-Pierre Léaud as Doinel, and continues across 3 more films and 1 short subject, Antoine and Colette, Stolen Kisses, Bed and Board, and Love on the Run. We witness Antoine grow up, get dishonorably discharged from the French military, falling in love, getting married, having children, getting divorced, and ultimately writing an autobiographical novel about his life, which involves all of the films that preceded it and best demonstrates Truffaut's meta-narrative laced throughout the series. He's telling his story with an actor that is a dead ringer for a younger version of himself, and it feels like a mammoth undertaking. It is fascinating to watch someone evolve in what feels like real time, and you could watch any installment completely divorced from the others and still get solid standalone films. All 4 films and the short are currently streaming on the Criterion channel. Support your local library.
I now understand why you hated The Wedding Planner. That was incredibly highbrow.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's definitely some lowbrow too. Like we said, we got some werewolves in there. I think we're talking about a whole different story, you know? Big Ben, you're going to send us on home?
J-Lo might think she knows how to throw a lavish wedding, but she's got nothing on the subjects of my recommendation. The Curse of the Golden Flower. Another film from Zhang Yimou. His aim is to portray ancient Chinese castles so opulent it almost hurts the eyes. And I think he very much succeeded. Every wall of this king's castle is made from expensive jade and gilded in gold. You really haven't seen anything quite like it anywhere else. And the point in doing so is to expose us to themes of power, decay, and inevitability. As Lord Acton said, power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. And this film is very much along those lines. Following a royal family, don't look for any heroes here, be it the king or any of the people close to him who may be trying to overthrow him, because the closer we get to the throne, the worse things get. There's no family loyalty here, just absolute thirst to have control of it all, because as beautiful as the settings are, it's done so to contrast the human rot festering within the castle walls. Everyone is so paranoid, and everyone is looking for their next opportunity. I wouldn't call it a paint by numbers, a critique of authoritarian rule, though. But if you find yourself thinking about that subject a lot, like Maynard said, for no real particular reason whatsoever.
I don't just bring it up in passing.
Yeah, I know. Films like this can serve as a looking point to not let us trade our humanity for loyalty or the perceived facade of success when compassion and the ability to see things from multiple vantage points is no longer a part of your world.
Ben, have you done House of Flying Daggers? Have I already forgotten?
Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Just wanted to make sure.
And kudos to Ben for using the Lord Acton quote in the proper context.
Do people use it in the wrong context?
They do, because it's when he said it, he was talking about the throne sniffers like you were. It's how the power around starts corrupting the people around it. And like, as you said, as it gets closer and closer. So you used it in the right context. People just tend to say it as a stand-in for, the power went to his head. That's not what he means.
You see, Maisie, we can discuss Matthew McConaughey and Lord Acton in one. We can get you one who can do both, And with that, we are all out of show. But we want to thank our guest, Maisie Culver, for joining us. Thank you so much, Maisie.
Oh, thank you for having me. Always delightful to be here. Even when I lose.
It's the first time you lost.
Maybe especially, right?
It only makes you appreciate the wins more.
I've been humbled and I hate it.
See, eating crow. Everyone's doing it. But we're going to have you back, and then you're going to do great then. We're going to do Made in Manhattan, I heard. She's not Italian.
Let's do Made in Manhattan, please. Let's do Made in Manhattan, please.
Yeah, I want to do Made in Manhattan.
Ryan's going to do the case, so we're going to sign it up because Ryan will agree to do it.
I like it.
And we're going to check out of Monsters and Menses everywhere it's available for pre-order. And we're going to have Maisie back as well. And we hope everyone else will join us too as the Reels of Justice keep turning.
Count it.
The Tooch!
Please follow us on Twitter at Reels of Justice, Instagram Reels of Justice, and Facebook.com/Reels of Justice.